Alrighty. Hello, hello. Greetings and salutations. Welcome in. We got the crew together, ready to roll. And with that, pretty much gonna basically get this bad boy started in a couple minutes. So with that, welcome in, greetings, and sit back and relax, I suppose. So, who can recall what happened last time?
Well,
Stuff and things.
yeah, we did. We did some stuff and things. We got to the monastery and were directed through a magical door after some amazing meditation where we all had, well, most of us had insight into kind of what's been happening, where we're going, things like that. Um, we found our way into this amazing, basically magical dimension, it seems like, monastery, where we all promptly went our different directions. Well, I decided I wanted to go check out the shrines, so and see if maybe there was some clue about the entity that we've been kind of dealing with that's causing a bunch of chaos. And was doing that long enough that everybody else had gone off. So when I went to find them, ended up meeting a very nice centaur and accidentally, unbeknownst to me at the time, had a bit of a centaur date with since he wanted to wrestle, and ended up putting the bamboozling him a little bit and putting the smooch on him in a joking way to catch him off guard. And what I didn't realize is apparently I was like almost, I guess, centaur flirting. And rude of me. I didn't even bother to get the guy's name. But I mean, in my defense, he basically was blushing and ran off after pointing the direction that you guys had gone. So I didn't really have a chance to chat with the guy. But yeah, so unintentional centaur dating. Then I finally came across you guys again. And we started to find our way to the leader of the monastery. Came across one of the assistants. Do you guys remember his name? Because I do not. But he was what, 150 years old? 500 years old? Something crazy?
I do
Any
not recall.
remember. The caretaker, right? So, and then since we are here to help, I had asked if he needed help with anything, and he said they would like some help with maybe like sweeping and mopping the like some of the shrines, like assisting him in his duties. So Vimac and Price, and I think Price and I, right? Price? Did Price stick around? I think so. Um, anyway, we assisted and I helped to sweep up, and Vimac got to use what we discovered was a magical mop, which was super cool. So we got to do some magical maintenance of this amazing magical monastery, which was cool. Yeah, and then we wrapped that up and we're on our way to catch up with the rest of the group who we think might have gotten to the guy. Kaito, that would be. I think I'm going to pass to you because I think you'll have more info at that point.
I was going into a place and then we ended session. So I don't think I found him. I don't remember finding him. Someone was talking to me and I asked a question and that's where we ended session. I don't even remember what the question was, let alone what they answered.
Okay, there we go. Oh. OBS, there we go. All right. If that is all you can recall, then we pick up where we left off. And probably roll it back like, a minute or two just to refresh people. So, Kaito, all alone, abandoned his friends to do the chores.
Hey, listen, we had that conversation already.
To which he went ahead and went to the monastery to seek out Sebes. And when he got there,
That's
he
right.
walked in, and it was just a big empty space with like lots of pillars, just sort of this big empty, kind of just like walking into like I don't know, like a throne room or something, but it's not, there's no opulence. It's just large, somewhat imposing in a sense. And somebody had said something to him along the lines of Kaito Strider Shield. And I believe Kaito had asked, I don't remember telling you my name or something along those lines. And the individual essentially said, but you told me. And that's when we had ended the session. So we're pretty much picking up right where that scene ended. With Kaito all alone in this big old room. And the doors are probably still open. So, it's not like doors shut behind you and now you're trapped.
That's good.
So yeah, you just heard a voice from behind some pillars.
Okay. Actually, behind pillars.
I mean, you don't see a person, so you can only imagine they're behind some pillars out of line of sight.
I would go around then, looking for whoever. Heckin' bamboozled.
All right. So you would come across eventually one of those praying mantis people, the Three Creen.
Oh. Do I recognize him or no?
Probably not.
Okay.
But yeah, so you come across this Three Creen and they seem to be standing next to one of those like stained glass windows, arms folded behind their back, just looking up and out.
Hi.
Hello. I have foreseen your arrival.
Oh. Okay.
And they
Then you
turn
know why
around
we're
and
here.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Then you know why we're here.
I can tell by the facial expression. Diplomacy, correct?
Yeah, but what facial expression says that?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, he asked, what kind of facial expression says that? But yeah.
Sometimes words are not needed to convey a point.
Okay.
And they start to, walk further in, but they do they hold a hand out, kind of like, kind of like a walk with me, talk with me kind of motion.
Oh, okay, he'll walk with him.
So, I take it your compatriots are nearby.
Yes, I may have left them to do the mopping. Or sweeping? Swapping?
Ah, intercepted by the groundskeeper.
That's who he is. He said he takes care of things, so that kind of makes sense.
If he put nearly as much effort into his training as he does getting other people to do his work, I'd imagine he'd be at the top of his class.
Probably
But
more than a groundskeeper, huh?
yes, yes. But to each their own. That is the path he has chosen.
Your display's looking great, so I guess it works, right?
Like I said, if he put nearly as much effort into his training as he does what he does.
Right.
And, he continues walking with you, and it's a very, like, I don't know, languid pace. Is languid the right term? Just sort of, meandering, walking. So, Kaito Strider Shield, as you have told me before.
When did I tell you my name?
He stops and just sort of pivots on one foot.
Yep. Kaido will also stop.
And he kind of tilts his head. You don't remember? Interesting.
Am I supposed to remember?
Give me a history check.
I totally do not have my sheet open yet. Let me get that open. History?
Mm-hmm.
18.
18. So you think back, you don't recall ever personally meeting a 3-creen.
Wasn't there one in the cave when they were sparring?
Correct, but that doesn't
So I
seem
did
to be
meet
this one. You don't personally remember meeting this 3-creen.
Okay. No, I'm pretty sure we haven't met. But you did say you foresaw us coming, so maybe you met me then, and that's why I haven't met you? Is that how that works?
Sometimes the different potential paths that reveal themselves might get crossed.
I'll pretend I know what that means.
And then he turns and, goes to start walking back, further in. And he's walking like really slow, like probably slower than you would like, but
I mean, yeah, I'm probably like taking a step, waiting like a few seconds, and taking another step because of how fucking long my legs are.
Well, that and like you'd probably like take a step and just in the impatience, like your tail starts swishing because you just got to move something.
Yeah, typical horse noises. It's fine. So you're um
Master Sabus.
Stippus. That's it. Yeah, right.
Correct. I feel I would not be doing much justice to a diplomatic meeting if the rest of your crew, friends, compatriots.
Friends is probably the more appropriate term for
Ah,
the most part. I only recently met 2 of them though.
I see you've
Technically, I
taken
recently
that
met a satyr
path.
too, but they're not here now.
Correct. Paths do cross. They do diverge.
Mhm.
But it all makes sense in a grander picture, a greater scheme. Come, come. And he picks up the pace a little bit until they come to you can finally like see, I guess it's pretty well lit, so there you probably would have seen like the wall all the way in the back and like what seems like a statue which felt like maybe way in the distance, but you know, it's just despite the slow movement, it just kind of seems like time is passing way quicker than you
It's gonna
thought.
take forever. Yeah, that type of feeling, like the hallways strengthening as you're like lengthening as you're trying to walk down it, type of
Yeah.
thing. I'm guessing. Okay, yeah. Okay.
But eventually, you come to what appears to be a there's what appears to be a statue, and this statue seems to depict a three-headed draconic creature. It appears to have its claws, you know, intertwined like they're in in a meditative and seated state, and one head seems to be facing, I guess, from your perspective, to the left. One head in the center, which is like looking down, like it's in prayer or meditation, and another one to the right, left, basically a left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
And carved onto the heads. There it is. So carved on to each of the heads seems to be, I mean, just like these symbols. They're noticeably different, but you're not really sure what they represent per se.
Okay. Neat statue. Does it mean anything?
The past, the present, and the future.
Ah. Neat.
Without each of these, the other cannot exist. And then he's looking up at it with arms still folded behind his back, and then pivots again and turns towards you.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
without
that kind of makes sense.
the pain of the past, the confusion of the present, and the unknown of the future, what is existence? We always, always contemplate.
Okay.
But I surmise your friends will be here. And he looks up at one of the windows very shortly.
All right.
If you so wish to wait here, I will be here. If you wish to roam, explore, you have my blessing to do so.
Oh, thanks. Is there anything you know that you guys need help with currently or anything like that? Because that's kind of what we do.
Oh, my monitor just... Me personally, I cannot say that I have any tasks of urgency. However, members of our monastery are always in need of assistance.
All right, all right.
Perhaps first a trip to the training grounds. If you seek to interact with some of the more experienced, and I suppose some of the less experienced.
Okay.
Or you can remain here and meditate, contemplate your past.
I don't think that went so well the last time I tried it. I did get here at least, though.
Then that means it was successful.
I wouldn't have made it if it had been.
You are correct in your assessment.
Ah. I guess it worked. So, I guess that's good. Can't say I quite understood exactly what I was doing.
I can tell you've had
What do you
quite
mean you
the
can tell?
tumultuous past. And he looks
Oh,
up at the head that seems like it's pointing, like, I guess to you it's left and right, but you know, you kind of get he pointed at each head, so because I'm gonna get myself confused with character facing left and statue facing left, so I'm just kind of generalizing. So he points to one of one of the side heads and says, turmoil, pain, regret, fuel for the present. A foundation to build a future.
One of those you just gotta keep moving forward, right?
You are more wise than you might think.
Yeah, if you say so, buddy.
It wasn't me that said that.
Wait, what?
Perhaps it will make more sense later. And then he kind of looks up at the other head, like the one that that's representing the future. Mysteries unwind themselves if you know where to look. And sometimes the answer finds you.
Well, I hope it finds me, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore these days.
That. And he turns around and looks at you. Now that is what makes life so very worth it.
Not knowing what you're doing?
He nods quietly and, slowly. Could you imagine a world?
It does keep you on your toes.
Correct.
Kind of looks down at his hooves, not sure how to describe toes with that.
Imagine a world if you knew exactly the answer to everything. If you knew exactly what was going to happen. If you knew exactly when your time of passing would come. Do you think you would be who you are?
Well, no, no one would be. They make different choices because of what they know.
Exactly. Revel in what you don't know. It will make learning what you once knew, if it changes, if it evolves, if it's completely different, that's where you'll find peace. And then he also
Okay.
shrugs, 4 more questions.
I think the latter might be a little more correct.
Then you are living a life that many wish they had.
I mean, yeah, fair. A lot of people like to hit things too.
To have
I'm sorry. I had
friends,
to give you the burper.
to have a purpose. I'd say that's more than a lot.
You said they'd be here soon. Like, should I go find them soon, or they'll actually find their way here soon?
I believe that varies on which path you choose to take. And then he lifts lifts his hand up in the air and points to the middle head.
Uh-huh. The present one, right?
Yep, that's the present.
So should I go get them? Should I not go get them?
That. And then he points to the future head. And then the camera pans to the party
Thank God.
who is, working away.
Psychobabbled over here. I'm so confused.
Hey, you chose to leave everybody.
Oh, I know I
to
did,
the
but I have
monastery.
regret about it. I'm like,
I don't want to help people clean. All right. Brain explosion. So the camera pans over to everybody working hard to, clean up some of these monasteries, get the dirt out the crevasses, cleaning tiles, cleaning walls, dirt, muddy footprints and muddy shoes have come in and out, and you guys have done pretty well to clean up a few of these. Some of these larger, some smaller. Some, nothing really seems too extravagant compared to the others. Everything seems very respectful. People seem to be very respectful of, you being there and you helping. And yeah, like nobody's like, the janitor's here. They're just like, they get out your way. Like if you have to mop something, they'll step aside. Like they're very respectful people here. Like if you got a job to do, they are more than willing to get out of your way so you can do it. But eventually, your cleaning does come to a completion, at least the current task, because there's a lot of these. But you guys definitely would have worked up a good bit of a sweat.
Well, after I get done with wherever room we're at, I'll straighten up and be like, oh, whew, well, that was definitely a workout. How are you guys doing over there? And I'll look for the other two.
Who, me?
Yeah. How's it going?
Good. I'm
Good.
just observing. Like, didn't have to really do much, so
All the mopping wasn't doing too much? Man, you're humble.
Uh, it's just mopping, like not.
We mopped like 1,000 square feet. That was a lot.
Yeah, but it doesn't take any brain work.
Yeah, that's very true. Well, I'll turn to the caretaker and ask, well, I hope this has been helpful. We probably should make our way to also meet up with Kaito and Sibis.
Yeah, Sibis.
But yeah, we hope you do well and thank you for giving us an opportunity for service. Take care. And I'll make my way
Right.
out and go where we saw Kaito going.
What about Vimac and Price?
What was that?
What do you do? I'm going to make my way over to Sibis.
I'll follow.
Yeah, Price would be there as well.
Do I? Are we fatigued from our mopping at all?
Gosh, I hope not.
A little tired, but not like exhaustion level
Okay.
tired.
So ready. So I'm ready to wrestle some minute or centaurs
I mean, if you want
if the
to.
need arises.
If you wanna.
If you made a comment about that, like in your outside voice, outside your head, I'd probably turn to be like, oh, but you could just, if you do, I mean, it's great fun, but you really got to be careful because if you're going to be wrestling centaurs, they think it's a date. So just go into knowing that and remember to ask their name. Don't do what I did. And if you see a centaur that's walking around blushing, wave him down so I can be polite and ask his name.
We'll do so.
I like how Vimac doesn't even question it.
I just want to just say, Altani, you do know that people don't blush for that long. And he's
Well,
going to gesture like over his shoulder to all of the shrines that we just cleaned.
like, well, I don't know. It could
She's
be a
just
centaur
bragging
thing.
now. Now she's walking around being like, by the way, there's a blushing centaur around here.
And that's from me.
So it
Probably
might
my
not be
fault.
such a blushing. I was taking it as more of somebody glowing.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, like
mean, yeah,
at
he was
post
definitely
blush
glowing.
glow.
I'm sorry, did you just say post blush glow?
Mhm.
I need to quote that.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Nice. Nice. All right, so it sounds like you guys are heading to where you saw Kaito go last. And basically, you could also, you'd also get pointed in the direction of Master Sebas because, the groundskeeper's the groundskeeper. And he'd be like, as you're leaving, he's like, well, thank you for all the help you gave me. It was quite lovely to get all this hard work done with friends, yeah.
Same here. And now you'll have more time for training.
Yeah. Definitely gonna do a lot of training. Yeah, definitely. All the training in the world, yeah. And he'd wait, the camera pans over you guys' shoulders, you're walking down like the pathway, and he's just like waving at you in the background, and his image gets more and more blurry as you walk away. Until you make your way to basically the training grounds, which, as explained, seems to be separated into like 4 different sections. they're separated by like pretty decent sized like walls. Nothing like castle walls, maybe, I don't know, 10, 15-foot walls kind of thing. But yeah, you kind of see as you're coming down, but as you're at the apex of the hill and you're coming down, you can see the courtyard where there's, one section seems to be there's like magic and stuff going off. Another section seems to also be having some lesser magic. And the other ones seem like there's like martial training as you see people like moving in tandem and striking in tandem. And there's pretty much like a pathway that leads right up to the main building. Ooh, belch. And if you go that way, unless you want to stop and interact with anybody or anything.
There's people actively sparring and
Yep.
stuff, or okay. Does it look like there's one potential like sparring match that is not heated, but like you could tell that they're exceptionally skilled, maybe more than the rest, like doing some really crazy cool stuff.
Give me an insight. Everybody's doing something cool here. Weird, all sorts of species here. Some doing like kick flips off of each other from like, some of them doing like the what's it, the Liu Kang like bicycle kick, just like kicking like one guy's fighting another guy and he kicked the dude like 30 times without even hitting the ground. Yeah, just like all sorts of crazy, wacky techniques going on here. Like imagine this is how I would describe it with a natural one insight for price. Imagine going to a convention, like a huge convention for the first time ever, and there's people everywhere, there's glowing lights everywhere, there's something going on in every corner, there's sounds everywhere. It's just like it's almost information overload.
I'm picturing Price is just geeking out like Poe from Kung Fu Panda when he's first gets to the temple, if you know what I mean. He's looking at all the different martial artists and stuff, and they're doing all their stuff. So he's probably just darting back and forth on I'm picturing us walking down a pathway, and just like a little kid in a candy store, just kind of like going back and forth, just staring. But oh, ooh, and I'm assuming just the theater of mind is just picturing Altani and Vimac just kind of strolling normally, while Price is just almost comically darting back and forth at different sides of this pathway.
It's like a deep gnome in a candy store.
Martial arts monster. Yeah. Wow, there sure is a lot to see around here.
Scoot that over there.
Oh, that was the flying somersault kick.
Oh,
Yep.
look over there. I think that guy's been hovering for like a good couple of minutes, just kicking, and he still hasn't hit the ground. That's insane.
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh my gosh.
I didn't like attacking from the shadows so much. I'd like to learn some of that. Wonder if they can help me learn to like maybe run on the tops of trees. That'd be pretty helpful. I'm starting to get ideas. and, like, kind of thinking and looking around, like, I could use some of this.
So, as you guys are taking in the scenery, you would probably, yeah. So you would get approached by this would be, oh, okay. Funny enough, a goblin. And they look like they got some bruises on them. They look a little, a little beat, but they're in decent spirit. Are you here to train? And he's particularly looking at Price, who's just like clearly has been bouncing from left to right, back and forth, just running up to everybody and pointing, and he seems
Eyes
very
probably bugging
focused.
out of his head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
out of his hat too.
Oh, oh. I'm more just like watching.
Oh, so
They win though, and he's gonna point at Vimac and Altani. Just like one hand at Altani, one hand at Vimac. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, and we're also looking for Master Sebis to meet up on another one of our friends went ahead, and we're looking to meet up with them. Could you point us in the right direction?
Yes, that I can do for you. He points to this building that's bigger than everything.
So, like, the not totally not obvious at all building that we've been walking around the peripheral of the
Yep.
whole time. Nice.
Yep.
Oh, and I'm just gonna kind of like look up, like slowly look up higher and higher, be like, oh, that makes sense. Thank you. I'll turn and head that way.
Of course. And then as you're leaving, you see him you see him go back into one of the courtyards, and in a very loud voice, he yells, "Flying Lotus Nut Squash!" And then seconds later, you hear somebody go, "Oh,
Amazing.
oh, oh, oh."
Oof, that's definitely something that I could probably benefit from learning, but I don't know that I want to be on the receiving end of that. Nuts or not.
That sounds nuts.
Not anymore. All right. So you walk up the, pretty large steps that lead up. And, just like before, nobody seems to be guarding the doors. There's no guards, there's no security measures, just, just some doors there, and they seem to be open. Very, very welcoming despite its imposing size. But it looks real nice. Like it's got the like browns and like the light blues and like the gold trim, and you can definitely see even from the outside they have tinted the glass windows. I said earlier, now the word just left brain. Stained glass windows. I kept trying to think tinted, like wait, not tinted. And I'm guessing you guys go in, I'd imagine. So inside there are just so many just pillars in here, but that probably makes sense due to how tall this building actually is. So the only thing that seems to be holding the roof up right now are these pillars. So, but you would definitely notice at some point a Kaito.
Oh, hey, it's the centaur you kissed.
What?
I'm gonna put my hand up to my eyebrow, my like forehead, and be like, "Oh, no, that's Kaito. I haven't kissed Kaito yet."
Yet?
Well, I mean, it's not that I'm planning to. Don't worry. I'm just saying I haven't.
You didn't have to add yet in that sentence and it would have been accurate.
I'm just gonna give a smirk.
Oh no. Confused centaur Narcissus.
Good. Glad we found you.
Was it hiding?
Oh, didn't say where. We just were walking around the building and checking out all of the training going on. It's pretty insane. This is
Right.
quite an expansive place. Did you? And is Sabus there?
Uh,
Out of
Sebas
character?
was right here.
Yeah, he's there.
But
This is Sebas.
I'll turn and oh, Master Sebas. Thank you for meeting with us. I'm sure you're busy and have a lot to run. I mean, this must take quite a bit of coordination. It's incredible.
With proper discipline, coordination from a singular entity is not necessarily required.
Yes, that is the ideal. Bureaucrats strive for that and have yet to see them have all of the discipline to master that. All the more amazing. But for those of your discipline, it makes sense. Well, as Kaido might have already told you, we were sent here from Delruth. Some earlier members of our party, and I think Kaito might have been there as well, had met some from your monastery on some earlier adventures.
I
And
totally did not forget to mention that.
well, either way,
Ahem.
I mean, I'll just I'll reiterate for thoroughness sake, because I'm sure Kaito
Yeah.
caught you up on
Sorry,
everything.
Kaito. We were cleaning, so we didn't know what kind of conversation you had.
No, that's perfectly fine.
Bryce is gonna have his hands on his hips.
What?
Actually, Kaito, you might have gotten a kick out of it. We actually had magical cleaning supplies.
They were
It's pretty
magical.
neat.
Since when do I do good with magic?
Wouldn't
Could
you
have been
think
the
they were
first
neat?
time.
I could not understand you both at once.
It could have been the first time. Maybe.
I don't know. Something probably would have exploded.
You missed out.
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right, buddy. I'll pat you on the shoulder. Be like, it's okay.
Which shoulder?
I'm glad you were like your hip shoulder, I guess. It's more of like closer
like
to
the
like
horse
my
shoulder?
height. Horse shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, it was great that you went ahead and were able to locate Master Sibus for us. Made it finding you a lot easier. And now we're all together again. And so continuing with what I had started with before, we were actually here to see if there was anything that we could assist you with. Any strange magics you need investigating, anyone in trouble that you would like a few extra hands for. We're here to help. Or if you have items in trade that you're looking for a new route for, Delruth is definitely building, and if there's anything that you need in that way, we can work on hopefully getting that to you. Just let us know.
Ah.
Like Altani wasn't out of character. Altani wasn't trained to be like the diplomat, so she's like trying to like cover all the bases.
Honey,
Like,
no one here has been
what would we
trained to
need?
be a diplomat.
What are you talking
But that
about?
is why she's running on
Bryce?
a little bit.
Bryce has the diplomatic hat and the diplomatic cloak.
That's true. It's true, and diplomatic pamphlets to hand out. But anyway, sorry. Please continue, Cubed.
Hmm. So you seek to investigate magical anomalies. And here I thought you were here just for diplomacy. Interesting.
Definitely a little of both.
Well, it does just so happen the purpose, reason that you seek within to locate our monastery has not been something that we have done historically. This is a recent development insofar as to ensure whatever is going on out there is not affecting our grounds. The world is changing. And he points up to this statue that Kaido knows what it's about, but for those of you who have not seen it before, seems to be like this three-headed dragon. Each head seems to be like in a meditative state, but one head is like facing your left, a middle, and then your right. Basically left, right, and center. And he points up to the middle one. As of currently, whatever is changing the world has made things very unbalanced, unpredictable, chaotic. Of this, even my vision cannot pierce to the future. And then he points to the head that seems like it would be, depending on your perspective, would be facing forward, ahead, the future. And I can
Oh,
see.
chaos.
Mhm.
Oh, just thinking about some of the stuff we've been dealing with, chaos seems to be the perfect word for it. And the fact that it has gone to the point where it's disturbing you, this obvious, this collection of people who you must have been able to isolate for so very long to be able to train like you do. This seems like it might be an even bigger issue than we had anticipated. Please continue.
Mm, Indeed. For those of us who have magical cunning and understanding can only ascertain so much. However, those who are and one of his hands raises to the mandibles because not really much of a chin. For those of you who make a living out of discovering mystery and danger, I foresee this task being one you might be most suited for.
Well, wonderful. All right, guys, and I'm gonna kind of turn. You're like, see, like it feels nice to be needed. Well, turn back to Sebus and ask. So, regarding the chaos, have you noticed it coming from any particular region or, I mean, Any realms in particular? I mean, from how we got here, I can only anticipate that realm and dimensional travel is something that you have knowledge of. Because this little
Insofar,
hut is so much larger on the inside.
indeed. Insofar as limited knowledge to be able to find and create a hovel, temporary as it is. But some of our scouts and messengers have claimed to have come across creatures not of this world. Creatures that, in essence, embody chaos.
Do some of these creatures have tons of tentacles and they like to come out of portals?
He
Because
nods.
we've seen a few of those. Okay. How about undead? Have you been having any trouble with wraiths and the like? Cultists?
Thinks for a moment. Those who worship the other world, perhaps. Those who would willingly invite chaos.
That definitely tracks.
Um, uh, you know anything about sky giants?
I've heard many a tale of them, and we do have one or two within the walls of our monastery.
My
You
eyebrows
know
go up.
why there might be statues of them underground?
That I could not say.
Especially right by a really big building that's got a really creepy creature in it.
Oh yeah, that giant undead, giant looking thing.
Like underground in a really
Yeah, it
creepy
was
place. And that was
like an
also like,
underground fortress.
yeah, it wasn't random. So you
He
know anything about that?
he points up to the draconic statue again, representing the past. Many civilizations have come, gone. Some the skeletal remains of what they once were. Some fade into the darkness, never to be found again.
Well, that's definitely true. Do you happen to know of any any civilizations of cloud giants that had been known to be in this area?
Within this area, I am uncertain. And then he points to
Mm.
the dragon head in the middle. However, that is merely what we know so far. And then he kind of looks over to Kaito with a knowing look.
Hmm. Excuse- You know, I wonder, with all this portal magic going on, then I'll turn to Sebas. Is it possible to use a portal to transport something as large as a fortress into our realm?
He then
Or at least
uses
locate?
3 of his arms to motion to the building around you.
Yes, but I mean, I was in the understanding that all of this was us traveling to where you are versus, this building, you know, on the hill where we found the hovel. I ask because this fortress we found was underground, attached to the home village of another of our allies, the Mole people, and with it brought some very creepy and murderous undead creatures. And there was what appeared to be an undead giant in the fortress. And I'm wondering if it's possible that maybe that fortress was actually brought here from where its civilization had started. And that might have, and I'll turn to the group, be like, and that could be how the mole people got involved, is somebody brought that over and the people or creatures from that dimension or realm or world started to find their way to the mole people. If it's possible. Otherwise, I just wonder if it's something we should be looking into other realms, or if it's something we should be looking into the ancient past to find more information on it. But I guess that'll be something that we'll have to look into later. I'll put notes in my little my journal. You guys see me like doodling of like question marks with like arrows going with like from one circle to the other of like, where could it have come from? Was it here? Got a whole page of notes and doodles. Wow.
The whodunit
This
web
is,
that people put on billboards
yes.
or the little chalkboards and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
The board of connections.
Yeah, that's what's called.
Yes, exactly. Maybe some Venn diagrams, seeing things that might be some hints that we've had of overlapping info of like, oh, cultists, tentacles, portal magic. Well, this has definitely been enlightening. Uh, can you take us or show us to possibly an area that you've been impacted by some of this chaos directly? And we could go from there?
I have not left these grounds in a very long time.
Understandable.
Why not?
And
I've seen no need to.
Fair.
well, and if it's not in your preference to take us there yourself, if you would point us in the best direction to go next based on the chaos that you've sensed, we can go check it out. And I guess I should ask, as I put my hand on my chin, is this the chaos that you're experiencing predominantly in this realm here where your monastery truly lives, or in our area of the world where the hovel is?
In the place that you were before you arrived.
Ah, all right. Well, uh, we will then, I guess, head our way back there unless there is anything else here that you would require any assistance on from us.
Hmm. And he pivots and looks at the statue and each of the heads. There's a moment of, maybe even a few moments of silence as they seem to be in contemplation. And then they turn back around. I believe from here, the paths have been made clear enough. I do not require anything, but you might seek out Master Carlyle and Master Brood.
Ah, wonderful. I'll sketch their names down in my notebook. Master Carlisle and Master Brood. Thank you. And before we go, another point of business. Uh, is your monastery open to training on a small scale? If some of our members of our town might be interested in learning the martial arts?
Our monastery is welcome to any who seek to learn, regardless
Wonderful.
of where you came from, regardless of background.
Are there any
Uh,
rules that we should be aware of to let the people know that might be interested?
Ah, yes. Like, is this a kind of a lifetime devotion sort of place, or would people be welcome to come and learn for a time and then return?
all of the above.
And as Vimac had asked, there's no particular customs that would be preferred that they ascribe to while here?
The customs that
Anything that's not obvious.
others bring is experience, knowledge, wisdom for those to come. And then he'll turn. He won't turn, but he'll point to the head that represents the future. We learn through experience. We learn through interaction. We learn through pain and shared experience. So, we will learn
Well,
just as much as they do.
that is a wonderfully open and broad way of thinking. How admirable. And useful, I bet. Well, and I'm thinking, well, there's certainly in my head, it's like, well, I can already imagine some new experiences that they already have one or we've met at least one or two goblins while here, right? So I'm just thinking, I wonder how good they are at ambush. Because I think we know where we need to send Flex for a little bit. And maybe any others of the goblins who want to get more proficient in weaponry or fighting. So, but to Sibis, I'll bow my head. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us and give us the wisdom that you've gained. We're grateful for the time you've let us be here, and we look forward to a happy future friendship as well. Please do let us know if you can reach us through Delruth, if there is anything that you do require, and we will be on our way to try and follow that thread of chaos that you found.
Indeed. Even from
And I'll turn
chaos,
to
we can learn the importance of order, and we can learn what makes this chaos function so that we can seek out the chaos in ourselves and understand. And he bows his head.
I'll bow again, turn to everybody. Did any of you have any questions for Master Sabas before we go?
Not I.
Kaito? Bryce? And I mean, if neither of you are interested or kind of like you're content, then I will just nod and kind of start my way out.
No questions for him, but I'm just kind of excited to have a place to come to train whenever if I want to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we should be sending. I bet. Ooh, you know who I think would love to come here? Lionel. This place seems right up his alley. People of honor and martial arts. Think he'd probably have a great time. And we'll make our way out.
All right. You make your way out. Boop a doop 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 boop. And once more you are greeted with the sounds of training yards, people, like basically just the sound of martial training, the sound of spells going off nearby. All of the above.
You know, Price. With all the magic going on, I wonder if they also offer magic training here as well. If there's anything new that you wanted to learn or practice.
Yeah. Think I could sell every person here a wagon?
I mean, you'll never know until you try, right?
He's gonna start counting all the people here.
You easily start losing track. Because it's not just it's not just the people in the training grounds, but there are people, you know, coming and going as well. Like the people who were training, they would be coming and going too, so it's just sort of like this constant influx of people just in and out, all about.
Basically, like you'd said before, of like a convention, but
Yeah.
for martial artists actively participating.
Yeah, imagine being at a convention and you don't have to wait like 6 hours in a single line. Anyway,
Unheard of.
yeah, that's never happened
What is this,
before.
witchcraft? Right? Well, except for as time goes on and people are going to less conventions. Those who stick around are probably like, yes, oh my God, this is amazing.
This is what I've been wanting to do for years. All right.
All right. Well, so on my part, I'll keep a loose eye out for our friend that we had met. But other than that, just kind of going to make my way back to the spot where we had come from the hovel. So if any of you guys want to do or chat with anybody else, I will turn the floor over to you. But that's what my plan is.
Yeah, I think so. We were basically told that I guess somewhere back outside where the hovel is there's more of the potential chaos stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. And it seems to be coming from that area versus their home world dimension, whatever, of where the monastery is actually located, from what it sounded like.
Yeah, I would assume that unless, like you're saying, unless someone wants to do something specific, probably I'll just be heading back to address that.
All right. So you're basically plan on heading out. And as you do so, that goblin that you came across earlier pokes his head out and seems like he's waving you guys down. And this time he's uh, flanked by what appears to be like this bugbear individual. There's a very noticeable size difference here. But you can keep
Yeah, I would
walking.
assume that we would stop and see what they wanted.
All right. So They, if you stop, they walk over to you. All right. All right. I take it you are the individuals that Master Sebas wished for us to speak to? And this is the bugbear speaking.
Oh, yep.
Probably. I mean, we just left from a meeting with him. Are you here to tell us more about the chaos that you've been experiencing? Or anything
Indeed.
we can assist with?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful.
It's chaotic. Not just kidding. So, some of our scouts had reported coming across some strange creatures. But before these creatures arrived, they said they and he taps his chin. Well, they're of the arcane nature, and as such are very in tune, almost sensitive to arcane fluctuation. And they mentioned something unusual. Apologies, I'm not of the magical persuasion, so translating this is quite difficult to me. They said things felt strange. And then things started feeling like an unnatural pressure had begun to fall upon them. And as such, they left the area. But it wasn't before they had mentioned that the arrival of some creature from another world, that much they did make abundantly clear. It was not of our realm.
I'll turn to Vimac and Price. Does that sound like a familiar experience that you'd be able to track, maybe? Of, the air or environment feeling kind of heavy? High pressure?
I don't think I could. Doesn't seem.
How about you, Price? Are you familiar with that?
But you guys know where it was? That'd probably be helpful.
Yes, about. And he thinks for a moment. About 6 miles from here. When you exit, it would be. And he seems like he holds his finger up, and then like you can just see like him mouthing some words as he's pointing in the cardinal directions.
Never eat slimy worms or soggy wheat.
North, 7 miles. North. Seven.
Bryce will just nod. Was there
Well, that we
anything
can work
else?
with.
Well, like I said, they felt this and saw that and decided it would be best to leave the area.
Did they come here
Well, they
for
were
like refuge?
no, they were our own who were out and about gathering, hunting.
I see.
Do you know what direction they left to go? What direction they left in?
Said it. You just said north.
He
Oh
holds
no,
up
I
his
thought
finger again.
he. I thought the chaos was north.
Yes,
But and did they continue to head north,
they
or
went
did they head
north.
away
and,
from it in a different direction?
well,
Okay.
they went north, and that's where they claimed they discovered it. And they immediately came
I
back
see.
to report their findings.
I understand. Okay. Are they here around that we might speak with them.
He looks down at the goblin, and they seem like they're thinking about it. Let's see. This could be fun. In the training grounds, they are not. They might still be out and about. I mean, this report came in about a day ago. Was the most recent, yes.
Okay. Well, if they encounter it again while we're gone, if a message could be sent to Delruth, we would be grateful. But in the meantime, it sounds like we have our direction to head from here. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. We hope that they recover swiftly from whatever the trials and tribulations they'd experienced from this.
You hear somebody like maybe somebody like right around the other side of like the wall. Oh, well, I hope they don't get a flying lotus nut squash.
I'll turn to the guy we're talking to and put my hand like to the side of my mouth and be like, "Is that guy okay?"
He will learn to guard appropriately in time.
Oof.
Insert Spaceballs meme where everybody like covers their crotch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
Ooh.
I think you need to channel your security guard role because you're always protecting some valuable jewels. Keep that in mind. It helps out.
One might never know when the unknown will strike. And then he immediately moves a hand in front of his own, groinular area as the goblin looks like he was about to strike. Always be prepared for the unknown. And then they both bow.
Well, I will bow back. And then I'll kind of raise my hand in farewell as we make our way out.
Also, is Scooter out? Is Scooter just following?
Yeah, Scooter was out because Scooter was helping when we were doing the cleaning and stuff.
Okay. All right, so you guys are heading back through the training grounds, back beyond all of the shrines and temples, seeing, various people coming and going. You would see maybe you'll see it. Let's see. Give me a perception.
Should we do all of us or just one?
Anybody who wants to.
Hey, nice. Price and I are on point. Primax not far behind either.
A 19, a 19, 13, a 15.
You have a +6 or +7 to yours.
I have +7, yeah.
And Kaito still got a higher perception.
I only have a +4,
Just
y'all.
barely. You just rolled
You
higher.
rolled better. That was nice.
So you all would see Mr. Timothy or Timmy, depending on who how you choose to interact with them. You would see him talking to another group of people, and eventually seems like handing them, it's very cordial, but much like you guys, he's like handing off like cleaning supplies.
Cleaning
He's
supplies again.
yep, he's basically getting somebody else to do some more cleaning.
Tebis really wasn't joking about that. Tebis? Tebis.
Sebis.
No,
Sebis. Sebis.
Civis.
Yeah.
Sebis. Yeah. Sebis. Yeah.
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 And with all of those, you would also see a centaur roaming about, because y'all got pretty good perceptions. And they have, I don't know, how did you word it? A post blush glow about them.
Excellent.
Jeez. By Mac 2025. Post blush glow.
Mostly to indicate that that's the one that they recognize. But that's the gist of what you see on your way out.
Okay. Can I shout to the other centaur?
I mean, you can always shout.
I'm shouting, hey! I start trotting that way because I'm curious as fuck to know what his name is.
You know what? Give me a performance. 'Cause there are a lot of people
Performance?
here. Yeah.
Performance? I'm not too good at that.
So you like, hey, in the middle of a crowd of a bunch of people, and several people look in your direction. And like a lot of people do the like they look at you and a couple people like wave nervously like hi, I guess, kind of like that.
Like
Oh.
me?
But amongst them is that centaur.
Oh, I'm gonna trot right up to him. What's your name, buddy?
I'll be like, yeah, that's the guy.
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Yeah.
And he's gonna just turn, and whether they followed him or not, he's just going, his name's Carlisle!
I'm like, oh, well, that's some luck. We needed to speak to Carlisle. So
Oh,
okay. I'll
okay.
make my way over to Kaito and Carlisle. Be like, hi again. Kind of wave.
Whoever walks over to this guy can give me a insight check.
Okay.
Can I? Because I already did
Okay.
walk up to him.
Yeah, it's just whoever's in
Hey.
this area in
There
the
we
spot.
go.
Yes. My good old low insight roll when it doesn't really matter. Price
You
just
know
needs to
what's
be
up.
danger, and then I'll roll high.
So with the 25, as Altani walks over, yeah, you'd really be the only one who rolled high enough. His tail's kind of swishing a little bit more. He's there's a subtle body movement, body language. But
Is he nervous?
Yep.
Aww. I'm just
But
gonna
nice
get
to
a
meet you,
grin.
Carlisle.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna say. As I walk up. So I heard your name was Carlisle. Sorry we didn't actually get to exchange names before. I'm Altani.
Oh, um, hi, and he straightens his hair. He definitely
Kaido's
is
probably got
posturing.
like this one of these big brother shit eating grins on his face right now. Will you quit poking my arm with your nose? Get out of here.
I mean, I'm
Sorry.
sorry, Kaito. Your arm is at my nose height.
No, it's my dad's pup
I figured.
being harassed by a collie baby.
I have a
Oh,
squeaky chair. I
That's
hate
kinda
Half
that.
border
harassment.
collie, half rough collie. He's cute, but he's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I bet. Working breeds, when they're not working, are like, hey, give me a job.
Well,
Hey,
the biggest thing is he
got a
keeps
job?
trying to harass Rain, who is my service corgi, but she's going to be 9 next month. She's an old lady, and he's been harassing her so much to play that she's limping now. She can't keep up with him, and so now she's hiding under my desk and my chair by my feet, trying to avoid him. So he's poking at me, trying to get me to move to let him at her, and I'm not letting him. She needs a break. She's
Poor
an old
guy.
lady.
Aw,
Yeah, sorry.
very adorable.
Right. Big brother shit eating
Well,
grin.
yes. So back to Carlisle. Yes. So I'll be like, so Carla, we were told by Master Sabus to come find you. And who was the other person we needed? Carlisle and Brood? Yes, Brood. Uh, I believe he wanted you to possibly show us. Well, no, we know which direction to go. Okay, out of character. I have a goldfish memory today. What did the guy actually? What did Sebas actually say about we needed to find Carlisle and Brood for
Oh, just for information on anomalous things.
on the chaos? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so, yeah, Master Sebas had said you and Brood might have some additional information on the chaos that's been going on around here. We heard that it sounds like there's been some shenanigans up to the north.
Oh, yes. Business, right, master, yes. And he straightens up. You know, he
And
see
Altani's just gonna smile.
like when you basically when you mention Master Sebas, Sebas to him, he a lot of that nervousness goes away and it becomes like more disciplined, like straightened up. Like, you just talked to my boss and he wanted me to do something. Oh shit! All right. Yes. There was some disturbances to the north, 7 miles, and what's funny? Even his mannerisms has changed from like stuttering to like he is a lot more clearly better spoken now. Yes, north 7 miles. Some of our trainees, hunters, went up that way, and they discovered. Well, they said they felt some strange anomalies in the air, a strange pressure, and not too long after, they had noticed something otherworldly approaching. They also mentioned in that report, as they had provided to me, that they were pretty sure that there was some kind of a structure hidden amongst the trees. However, they did not get much of an opportunity to interact with them or study them, as they are hunters, and as instructed, if they come across anything that they do not feel that they are capable of comprehending or handling themselves, to report back immediately.
Excellent, thank you.
Do you have a copy of their report?
He taps his head.
Can you tell us the report then?
I just did.
That if they find anything they couldn't handle, that they have to come back and report it, but you don't know what they reported when they came back.
What they
Question.
reported is what I just mentioned.
Oh, right. Okay, so there isn't much detail other than that.
Indeed, they did not stick around to study anything.
Do they know where this was?
7 miles north. of the exit point
Okay.
of our monastery. Or the entry point, technically.
So,
All
do
right.
you know where we're supposed to go?
Probably 7
I'm
miles
kidding.
north.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
Oh.
Yeah, we've heard that about 8 times now.
That was very helpful, Carlisle. Thank you.
Indeed.
Well, we should probably get going there. And I guess we will probably check back on our way back through and report what we find, keep you guys in the loop. And then I'll start kind of walking away, be like, we'll take care. And they'll kind of turn and be like, maybe I can wrestle you again when I get back. Wink. And then just walk away.
Let's see. Everybody but Altani can make another insight check.
Everybody but, oh boy.
Because I already did, and I'm walking away, so I'm not paying as much attention probably.
See, Price isn't in danger, so I'm gonna still roll low.
So Price and Vimac, you see his cheeks just start. He turns like red as Altani does like the cutesy walk away like wink kind of thing. He is reverted back to shy centaur posture. Which, I mean, at this point you can probably tell that, you know, there might be a little crush there now.
Aww. Not the Kaido notice. This was me out of character. Aww.
But what Price and Vimac choose to do with that information is entirely up to them. So, you guys, so where you heading? Heading out? That's the plan? Or did you want
Heading out.
anything else
Yep,
to say
make
to
our way
Carlisle?
north.
All right. So you continue through the monastery grounds, quote unquote grounds area. The not training grounds. And you head back to where you remember coming through. And there's a little hut, just sort of not necessarily out in the middle of nowhere, but you know, it's far enough away, a safe distance from the first shrine. And you exit. Basically, you just go into the little hut, and just like before, it's a lot larger than it looks like on the inside. And you know, there's doors behind you and doors in front of you. So think almost like a crap.
Like a lobby kind of thing, or like that kind of what you mean? Like where there are doors behind, and then you walk into another room, which is like the center of the hovel, right? And then doors in front.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the term for it, like for like in a decompression kind of area, where it's just like door behind, close, empty area, and then
Yeah.
another door. But I mean, the lobby is also applicable.
No, I know what you're talking about, though. Yeah, it does have an.
But either
Yeah,
way,
there's a word for that. Yeah. All right. Well, if there's anybody in that room, I'll bow my head to them and thank them for all the assistance.
the same 3 green, legs folded, candles lit. Is it a concourse? that the word I was trying to think of?
Concourse is normally a large
No, it's
area
big.
with like uh
Large upper
maybe
public
like
building. No.
exits or yeah, but like yeah. I guess
'Cause I was
maybe it
like,
could be what you
'cause I
were
was like,
thinking.
I wrote down kind of like an airlock, but then I was like, hmm. Then I couldn't think of the word. Anyway, doesn't matter.
We have to meditate to go back.
No,
Okay, good.
not unless you want to.
No, I'm good.
Yeah,
As
I'll
we're
just leave
walking,
I'll just leave my
you're like
trauma where it is.
that meditation. Yeah. Like that meditation when we got here was sure peaceful. Maybe we should sit and do that for a few
Peaceful?
hours before moving on.
No. No, we're not. Nope. Nuh-uh, nope.
No?
Moving on. You'll step out.
All right. All right. I'm just grinning as I go, as I follow you out.
Altani, the torture of centaurs. So yeah, you step back out,
Never.
and the current time of day appears to be evening. Because once you open those doors, it is dark out.
Oh. Well, do we want to camp here for the night?
Were we really there that long?
Apparently.
Far
Although
as
if
you
we
can tell.
were in another dimension or realm, then there's no telling how much time had passed.
Fuck. Okay. Well, we had just rested right before we got here.
And then did cleaning and meetings and walked around and wrestlings.
It didn't feel like over a day, okay? Do we feel like it's been over a day? Like, are we like tired or anything?
I mean, I could probably go for a little rest. You know, what with all of the chores that a bunch of us did.
I don't know what chores you're talking
But
about. I had nothing to do with it.
only because, I mean, if it is night, it may be any part of the night. We could always just do a short rest and get up and about at dawn since we don't really need a long rest.
Do we have a guess on what time it is? Or it's just dark?
It's dork.
Oh, dork
Hmm,
30?
Yep, dork
Dork
clock.
30. I thought that's what D&D was, Dork 30.
Definitely.
Yeah, I did it. I guess we could do a short rest because we don't need a long one. We haven't done enough for a long one, have we?
Well, you know, there's a building you could meditate in and a monastery.
Yay. I don't want to meditate.
Well, you don't
I
have to.
I
You
don't
could
want to meditate. Yeah,
No.
you can't make me.
do your maintenance stuff. I will, though. I thought that was pretty peaceful. Or, I mean, if we're deciding to go ahead and wait instead of traveling through the night.
Suck up.
Not sucking up. I enjoyed it. I enjoy learning things like that. There were a lot of different schools of thought that have brought me to where I am today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as Master Sebas had said, you know, what we learn and all of our experiences and new knowledge shape who we are and who we can choose to be going forward. It's all for us to be able to pick between.
God, next thing I know, your face is going to be some kind of greeting card.
Is it because they have a pretty face, Kaito? And I'm just gonna put my
That is
fingers into my
not
chin
what
and
I'm
give you
saying.
a silly little grin and a wink. I
Listen,
mean,
hey,
my
you little
thinking
shit.
of my thinking of the rest is that if we rest now, we can kind of reset our schedule, our timeline of things. And if we get started first thing at dawn, we'll have all day to travel, and then we'll actually be tired by the next evening. Versus traveling through the night now and
Driving through the night now, and you cut out.
Oh, I think that's where they ended. Cause
No, she's trying to say stuff, but I think their internet's going poof.
No, Tony, who wants to pick on fucking Kaido if you're not here?
it's so weird. Are you being goofy or can you not hear me? Or can you hear me, I should say.
It's working again,
Okay, good.
somewhat.
I have a weird kind of service thing, so it does go in and out sometimes. No,
Oh.
Oh god, you're like multiplying.
that. Oh no, am I?
Why are they
Uh,
multiplying?
How
I'm like
about
hearing their words like more than once.
how about we take a 5 or 10 minute break while that settles?
Okay. We're having like spikes. Can you guys hear me now?
Restart.
For now.
Sounds like they can hear me now. They can hear me now.
I can hear
Sorry.
you now.
Val had come in and told me our internet's been spiking weird. So, but yeah, I was just saying, I was proposing that we travel during the daytime so that we can kind of like reset our internal clocks a bit. Versus traveling at night and part of the day, I figure we might as well rest for whatever hours of the night are left and then head out first thing in the morning. Because we can head out at dawn, you know, get a full day of travel in. I mean, it's only 7 miles, which is not going to take us that long.
Yeah, or we could just walk it tonight and see what we can see, and then I don't know.
And you want to do our rest closer to the chaos, is what I'm hearing.
We don't know what kind of chaos, do we?
It's still closer to the chaos. Right now, we're further from the chaos.
I don't know.
If the entire rest of the group would rather travel through the night, I'm totally fine with it. Just telling you my logic.
It's not
So I'll-
bad logic, but I'm looking at it as unless we got worn out from the small bit of adventure we went in that place, it's just kind of like a waste type thing.
But
That's where my
consider the
mind's at.
fact that it's not wasteful to reset our timeline, right? Our timing of things. Because if we do travel at night and we do potentially like come across some chaos, we may wear ourselves out part way through next day. Or, shenanigans can happen at night. And we do have some dark vision, but we're not exactly full night vision creatures. So we're at a disadvantage at night versus during the daytime, we have our vision is at its best. So, cost,
Stabilized.
risk, kind of benefit.
I'm also looking at it as if we end up taking it as a short rest. I think you're going to do 2 short rests a day.
Okay.
And if we end up needing more than one later, I don't know.
Then we should do a long rest now and start with 2 full rests available to us.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Which is why I was asking, do we have any idea of what actual time it is?
Yeah.
I think I might BRB and go find some food while we're on 5-minute break. You're back.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll be here. Altani's just gonna sit and start meditating. Hey, actually, we're gonna reset our internet, so we will be back in 5 to 10.
That was precisely what I was like. Wait,
It
we take the
occurred
5
to me
to 10.
just now that's why you did it. Thank you, Cubes. We'll be back.
Oh, are you okay? Okay. No. Can it wait 1 minute? I'm sending something across the the network. But it won't affect the internet speed, but if we reset everything, it'll break it. Okay.
Oof, yeah, their internet's going kapoof. They're still waiting for it to reset. Oh, hey, they made it. Internet reset. All right. All right. Let's get back into it. Alrighty. Back into the mindset. So, what was the plan? What was the
A
idea?
proposal was that we do, if we're like maybe aim for a long rest, just to fully kind of reset our sleep schedules. Um, we don't necessarily know that there's a full 8 hours of darkness, but um, if it's likely, I mean, from looking at the stars, could we get kind of an idea of if it's the middle of the night or the beginning of the night?
Give me a survival.
Can I help?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I had a higher plus to survival than you.
Oh no.
I have +4.
Well, I could maybe I could help Kaito
Well,
share what
Oh,
I
you already
learned
rolled it
looking
too right
around.
now.
yeah.
Fair.
And
Okay.
Kaido was already helping you. This is how you got the
Fair.
advantage. So with the 12 in the middle of the night.
Were you just singing a pretty tune, or were you actually also telling me what I needed to know?
Both.
Oh, hey, perfect. Well, seems to be about middle of the night, so we could do a short rest and only have one left, and then have to long rest closer to the chaos, or we could go ahead and long rest so that we have both of our short rests available. What do you want? What do you vote for, Kaito?
Yes.
Okay. Price, Vimac, you guys good for doing a long rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, perfect. Then we're gonna long rest. Kaito, since you're wide awake, why don't you want to take first watch?
Sure.
All right, I can take second.
Yeah, I'll do third.
Nice. Perfect. Snoozy snooze time.
Alrighty. Give me a sec. But well, I have to handle a thing. Give me a perception as first watch.
Okay. There it is. 19. Kaido's pumped. He's like perceiving everything. Hello, Mr. Dungeon Master.
I think he had to go fix something.
Is it my watch now?
I don't know.
No, after Kaito rolled, he said he had to go had to fix something. So it's still Kaito's watch. And then
I didn't hear him
we
say
don't
that, so you heard more
Oh.
than I did.
so he'll be back. And then it'll be my watch and then yours, Vimac.
Okay.
Our house is in the middle of the street. I do not know why that just popped in my head. I'm sorry.
Because that's what Cubes was singing to tell us
Mhm.
the result of my survival check.
Oh, you
You
did?
can blame him. Yeah.
Oh,
You were listening more than you realized.
I didn't even realize that's what he did. I just heard a melody.
Yep, it was that melody in particular.
That red bastard. Subliminal messages.
Of course, things decide to start to not work. Just as we get back from the break. Okay. 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 All right. So 19.
Yep, welcome back. It's all right. Breathe. Breathing is good. Everything okay?
Yeah, for now. All right. So
For now?
nothing exploded.
That's
For
good.
now.
For now. Speaking of things for now, 19. So amidst the nighttime routine, as you so what are you doing for your watch? Just staring at the campfire idly,
Well,
or
if he's on watch, you'll be probably like slowly walking around the perimeter of where everyone's sleeping, just keeping an eye on things in general.
all right. So with a
Because he doesn't
19,
enjoy this still.
you would definitely spot some roving wolves that are kind of curious in the campsite, but I don't know how you would try to shoo them off.
I mean, unless there's something wrong with wolves, typically they stay away from fire.
They do, but the kerfuffle of all of this, they're curious, but you pretty easily just shoo them off. Basically, the TLDR are just woodland creatures. Wolves might come and investigate. A bear or two might be sniffing around the camp. But you can pretty easily just shoo them off.
Okay.
But beyond that, just curious critters.
Alright.
So next up, you go and wake up whoever's next.
Oh yeah, that'd be me.
Yes. All right. He'll wake up Altani and like as he wakes her up, he'll be like, just a heads up, there are some wolves around. I'm pretty sure I shoot them off, but just keep your eyes open.
Okay. So forest puppies, keep an eye out. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right.
Then he would sit
So I'll,
down and enter her
like-
turn.
and I'll like slap my cheeks a little bit to wake up. Drink some water. Stretch. Take a peek around.
Give me a
Um,
perception.
I'm still a little sleepy.
Oh shoot, tomorrow's. Figure that out. So with a 14, yeah, you'd probably spot a couple of those wolves. You can shoo them off if you want.
I mean, if they're not doing any harm. Might talk to them and say warn them if they come any closer, I might pet them.
I was so scared they're gonna get petted.
Yes.
You know what? Give me a handle animal.
Ooh, all right.
Come here, let me pet you.
Just I could just imagine me sitting by the fire doing like the creepy with my hands out, like hands into like squishy
I'm gonna
motions.
pet you, my pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
All but one of them scampers off. And it just sits there, staring. What do you do about that?
Take some beef jerky from my pack. Maybe. Is it how far? Where is it for me or near me?
We'll say 15 feet-ish away.
I'll just be like, well, first, let's see if I can get some insight as to what's going on in its furry little head. Hey, there we go.
An intelligence beyond basic wolf.
Oh. Like, hey, hey there, forest puppy. Are you hungry? Is that why you're not scared off by our fire? We definitely don't mean you any harm. I'll take out some jerky. Be like, here, little snack. Gonna toss it his way, its way.
It looks at the jerky and then looks at you and remains seated.
Well, be welcome to eat it if you want. It's perfectly safe. And I'll take some out and I'll start chewing on it.
It just sits there staring, unblinking. Waiting.
What are you waiting for, little guy? Did I sense any animosity or just curiosity? Or any other osities?
Interestingly enough, none of the above. No malice, no hunger. There is intent, but it is none of those.
Hmm. What I mean, with an insight of 18, would I have a hint of what that intent is?
Mm, not really. It's just kind of neutral, really,
Hmm.
because it's not making any unusual motions. So it's really just kind of sitting there watching.
Hmm. I'll be like, well, and you're welcome to warm yourself by our fire if you'd like. I understand we're probably in your territory, so we mean you no harm, no ill will. But you're welcome to share our campfire if you'd like to warm up. I'll just kind of settle in and hang out.
All right. Throughout the entirety of your watch, this wolf does not budge.
Mm. You know, instead of waking instead of waking Vimac, I'm gonna actually wake Price since he has speak with animals. Like, hey, Price, wake up.
Uh,
So everything's calm, but we've got a wolf sitting kind of by our fire that doesn't seem interested in jerky. Seems smarter than your average wolf, but just there. So I kind of woke you up out of turn because I thought maybe you could talk to him.
okay.
He's just sitting right over there.
Uh, uh, Bryce will cast with animals.
There's some owls hooting, rooting and tooting, rodents chittering, chirping, I guess. Wolves howling off in the distance. Which which animal do you want to key in on? Because there's definitely nighttime conversations going on.
Well, the wolf that's been sitting at our camp, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, anyway,
but it's
I'll
you
I'll
can
leave it to
comprehend and
you.
verbally communicate with beasts. So
Lots of options.
Hello.
it does not seem to respond.
Is it making any sort of um like physical movements as if it hears me, but it's just choosing not to say anything, like tilting its head when I say something, or like perking its ears?
When you speak, like the tail might move, the ears will move a little bit, kind of like how cats do when they'll
Mhm.
when you say something. They're doing their own thing. And you say something, and their ears kind of tilt to hear to listen. So it's definitely not immobile. Oh, or inanimate.
Altani said that seems it's smarter than normal. Like, insight check or arcana check.
Depends on which check you want to use.
Um,
Because different ones net different information.
if I did a survival check, like being a druid, would that clue me in whether it's like a beast truly or something else?
Nature check might, because that will
Okay, nature.
survival was like surviving and tracking
Yeah.
and such.
I just didn't even look at nature.
Because it gets so rarely used.
Guidance.
Sag.
I can.
With a 16, it looks like a wolf. It moves like a wolf. And you know some creatures can have hints of intelligence to them. But at its core, that ain't a wolf. So you're able to at least determine that it's whatever it is, it's not a wolf.
Let's see.
Maybe it's a lion because it's lying about being a wolf.
What are you talking about? Lionel's in town.
No, not
And he's a
Lionel.
minotaur.
A lion. A lion.
I know.
The wolf is lying about being a wolf. So it could be a lion because it's lion. It's a lion about being a wolf.
Maybe it wants to be an ally.
It could.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it were a lion, it could be an ally.
An allion?
A lion. Yeah, that.
But it's also watching you, so it could be an
Why is this
werewolf.
escalating so much?
It is an aware wolf. It's very aware from what I'm seeing. It's a lion aware wolf.
But yeah, throughout, you trying to figure out what it is, ain't natural. And it's got intelligence to it, but it is not acting. It doesn't seem like it's unable to move either. You can tell by the ears moving and the tail swishing. So it's clearly choosing to be where it is.
I'm going to, if it allows based on the CR, which I think it should, I'm going to wild shape into this wolf. Look like as exact to it as I possibly can. And for a moment, I'll mimic either its response or just it standing there staring, doing nothing. If just depending on what it does, I guess.
You can give me a perception. Yeah, perception. That is indeed a perception. I mean, Altani's awake too,
perceiving-
so you could also technically be
Could-
looking.
yeah, I guess. Could I? Yeah, I'll look around too. Be like, oh, you look just like him. And I'll see what I perceive. I'm getting sleepy again, though.
It seems to not have taken its eyes off of Altani.
Hmm.
It's been looking square at you this whole time.
If you end up on a
Hmm.
date with this wolf next, I'm gonna like, bruh.
I'll look at if Kaido did Kaido kind of wake up and say that, because if
No, that was
so,
out of character. He's
No, no,
asleep.
but if so, I could look at Kaito and then look at the wolf and be like, Carlisle, is that you?
Oh my god.
But if you're sleeping, then I won't.
No, he's sleeping. It was out of character.
Hmm. Well, I'll look through my bag and see if there's anything else in there that's like unusual.
In Druidic, Price would say, "Can you understand me?"
It does not appear to respond to that.
Hmm.
Can I do an Arcana check to see if it's like a spirit of some kind?
Yep, you can always try. This creature, based on its interaction, its movement, it to some degree product of deduction. You could kind of say it's a spirit creature. Trying to see how you would reach this conclusion. So you think to some of the, quote unquote spirits that you've interacted before, interacted with before, and some of them take on very specific causes. Some have purpose. Some will be created for, like a forest spirit might be something that protects the forest, or wards off invaders or intruders, or what have you, or like a ward for like keeping people away, or in some cases, as a druid who's interacted with other spirits, like sometimes they're usually, more often than not, either really happy to see you sometimes, or they want you to get the fuck away. This one has none of those intents. And as such, you definitely are able to ascertain it is magical in nature. It is, I mean, I guess in your experience, the closest thing you could assess would kind of sort of be like, it's the only thing that makes sense based on your experiences, but a spirit of sorts, but not like one that you've ever interacted with before. Especially since it's not really giving you any cues or clues, but yeah, it's definitely not. First off, it's not natural. It's a spirit of some kind, and it is a bit of a mystery to you. Like, the Arcana gives you some information, but it's like, I don't know if you'd ever have an experience like this, honestly. Yeah.
I would turn, noticing that this thing is staring just intently at Altani. I would turn and start relaying just those thoughts. Um, but I'd be still kind of like watching this creature to see if, as I'm explaining it, I'm assuming that it can understand me and hear me. And I'm wondering if, as I'm explaining it, if I'm getting its attention at all.
Well, Altani was the one that noticed it was keeping an eye because you rolled a 9 on your perception.
Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, true.
Well,
Well
I mean, but
then,
if you're
yeah.
gonna relay it to me, then I'll kind of think, well, maybe it. I mean, maybe it's just staring at me because it identified me first, and so it thinks that I should be the one to communicate with it. I don't know. But learning about that, I'll turn to it, um, and walk a couple steps closer to it, and bow. Forest spirit, you have come to our camp, but we don't know why. Uh, can we be of assistance to you? Does
Its
it do
ears just kind
anything?
of perk a little bit and tail swish, but it remains unmoved.
I'll take another step closer, um, and I'll bow again. Say, Forest Spirit, it seems that you're pleased by our offer to assist. Do you desire to take me to see something that you would like our assistance with?
Can I go back to sleep?
Sure. I'm not too sleepy anymore. Unless you want to come with me.
Oh, well, I sure. I thought I was doing watch and then gonna talk to. Anyway,
I mean, I'm not sure why it's been so intent on looking at me, but I figure if I'm still awake, I might as well help out. But, forest spirits tend to be pretty powerful, so it might be good to have you there with me just in case. So, how does it respond to my offer to have it take me to what it wants to show us?
Nope, it is just sitting there. It seems very patient.
Hmm. Well, it doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. Um,
So as you get closer, it's just watching you. It kind of feels like there's a watching
Somebody's
you.
watching me. Sorry.
I was just thinking of that too. This wolf is watching me. Well, hmm. Well, what would you like from us? All I can think is to just keep asking it questions.
And still stepping closer.
No, I'll stay where I'm at for now.
It just sits and waits. A
Hmm.
level of patience
That
that,
Kaido does not possess.
yeah, Kaido would shoot it with an arrow by now.
Possibly.
Listen, no. Unless it came at
I
them
mean,
menacingly, he would not.
Altani, look
mean,
out! Fires arrow.
I was gonna say historically there have been times where we aren't yet under attack and arrows have flown. Imps.
We were
As a
debating
reason.
about fighting them for like 5 to 10 minutes. Kaido got frustrated with the debate and just shot.
We were
Sorry.
debating for like all of a minute and a half.
And in
you
Kaido
decided
language,
for
that's 10 years. Come on.
And none of what you're saying is changing exactly what I was my point. But anyway, well, it seemed to respond positively when I started to walk closer. So I'm gonna turn to Price be like, Price, do you think it's safe to try and pet it? Maybe it just wants a little scratch behind the ears.
No.
Oh, okay. Is it still lightly wagging its tail, or was it just a little wag the
It was
first
just a
time?
little.
Okay. Hmm. Out of character, I'm thinking back to that mask with the wolf spirits. But Altani had not been there. That was Kalia. So Altani would have probably read something about the mask and the wolf spirits, but without the context of being there, would probably just think it's like something completely unrelated. Um, hmm. Also out of character. Any suggestions, you guys, of how to get a like progress with the spirit?
Wake up,
Did
Kaido,
you-
quick.
Psychic.
What do you mean wake up, Kaido? Why do I have to be woken up?
I don't want to kill it. Well, I'll turn to the spirit and be like, well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you would like, of course, and no harm will come to you. But I am going to catch up on my sleep, and our druid here, if you would like to have any sort of conversation, would be more than happy to continue it. And he can wake me up if you do need me specifically. And I'll bow again and I'll go to my bedroll and like sit down, kind of take a peek at it. Still watching me?
Yep.
Like, I'm just gonna lay here, but I'm not going anywhere otherwise. Good night. I'll kind of like close my eyes and then like kind of crack one open.
It's
Still watching me?
like a Christmas special. Is Santa coming?
The Christmas little lion a werewolf.
Yep, it's still watching.
Okay. Well, I was just hanging out. I'll just be like, okay, well, Price, I guess wake me up if you need me. I'll go to sleep.
All right. So a makeshift swap of Price on third watch instead of fourth now.
Yeah.
So another perception.
Yes. So a 24. So, I mean, pretty much the only thing that seems to be standing out is this wolf that is just unnaturally patient and observant and just watching Altani. But it's your watch, so you do as you wish with that information. Actually, you know what? You got such a high perception. You'd probably also hear, like, probably at the very start, because you did do the speak with animals, you'd hear other animals, like, rambling on about how, let's see, you probably hear some birds chirping about how it gets really boring at night. You'd probably hear like some like rodent, like a squirrel or something. Oh, you know what? You'd probably see a mole stick its head out the ground, and then it like looks around, and then sees you, and then it just goes, "Alan, Alan, Alan, Alan," and then ducks back beneath the surface. You know, just random critters having random situations that, because you had speak with animals, you can understand all of them.
I'm just hearing it. Yeah.
Probably a couple of bats flying around, like squabbling. Clearly, relationship issues, all sorts of just random animal. The most mundane and unimportant conversations and interactions are just all you hear for the duration of that spell.
All right. I have some unidentified stuff, but I'm pretty sure narratively we left it with Glorb, so he could look over them, try and identify them. But I
Yep.
do have 2 spell scrolls that I don't know what they are, and neither of them say anything. It's just the description of like what a spell scroll is.
Correct. What levels were they? From where'd you get? Where were they from? Where were they
I
collected? Let's see.
don't remember. It's a 3rd and a 4th,
Third and fourth.
and I'm assuming we got them because I think most of these things I got were all in the same place, and I think it was from those chests that were in the snowy village. We found because I know we
Okay.
found a couple chests in there,
So
but I
those
don't
would be
remember off the top of my head now.
okay. So a third and fourth from Snowy Village. That would be bum ba bum bum bum. Ah. So you finally get a chance to pop the take a look see at what these spells are.
Yeah, I've never actually just tried to read them.
So one of them, as you take a look see, one of the spells is I just had it. There it is. Remove curse. That's the third level spell.
Nice.
And the other one was fourth level, Snowy Village. Okay, there it is. That one is called Guardian of Faith. So remove curse and Guardian of Faith. The third and the fourth.
All right, cool. Write that down. And yeah, otherwise he would probably he would look at those and see what they are and probably tuck them back away. And if nothing else happened, then I guess he'd wake up Vimac.
All right, so Price goes and gets old Vimac.
And he would definitely relay the bit about this wolf sitting here that's probably at this point pretty obvious.
It's been the talk of the camp. If Vimac's there, that is.
The 4th level one was Guardian Spirit. What was it?
Guardian of Faith.
Was it my turn?
Yes.
Yeah, Price would walk over and nudge you awake and point
Oh.
out this wolf that's sitting, I guess, close to our camp. I don't know how far away was it. It's fairly
15.
close, right? So it's just sitting there. And he would, I guess, he didn't recognize that it was staring at Altani so intently. Um, so he'd probably just say it's standing there. Um, uh, I I tried to speak to it. I don't think it's an actual wolf. So some
Hmm.
kind of spirit, but I don't know.
Okay.
And it's just
Wolf.
sitting there.
Different from the one that we have in camp, right? I'm still kind of blinking my eyes, still trying to wake up. But
What? Yeah. It's sitting right over there.
okay. So try to talk to the wolf. Got it.
Or yeah, wake us up if it wants to eat you.
Okay. Can do.
Best party advice. Don't die.
I
All
will.
right, bye.
I'll slap my cheeks to help wake myself up. Okay. All right. So Price said he tried to talk to it, but it wouldn't talk to him. I'm pretty sure he would have used his speak with animals. So if it didn't respond with animals, I wonder if another type of communication can work.
Which actually makes sense because it's not an actual animal.
But he did get a tasty old internet meme out of it.
I'm gonna telepathically ask Clem to see if he can try to decloak and see if he can speak to it in Infernal and get any response.
So you're trying to speak to it in Infernal?
Mm-hmm.
So that would be audio.
Hmm?
So if you speak telepathically,
Oh
it's
yeah, I'm
typically not using
telling
a
him
language.
to speak to it. So Clem was gonna speak. Hey, can you hear me?
So Clem is speaking Infernal to it.
Yep.
It would actually growl.
Just growl. Okay. Hey Clem,
I'm learning some stuff. I have an idea.
we're gonna try some other stuff, and I'm gonna dismiss Clem. Then
He's a thinking. The wheels are churning.
all right, and then I'm gonna actually summon Nirvana, my sprite.
Alrighty.
So she will spawn. Hey Nirvana, I'm trying to see if I can communicate with this wolf over here that doesn't seem to speak animal, and it growled at Clem for speaking Infernal to it. So let's see if any of your languages work. And so Nirvana's going to speak first in Elvish. Hey, can you understand me?
There's no response. And you say it's a fairy dragon?
Sprite.
Right. Okay. You sure you
So
don't want it to
then
be a
with no-
Patsy? No, just kidding. Anyway, go on.
And then she's going to move on to Sylvan. Hey, how about this? Can you hear me now?
Also, no response.
So, well, you tried. So let's see who else can we try. And thanks for your help. And I'll dismiss Nirvana. Next, I will summon my Quasit Heis. Hey Heis, we have a wolf here that trying to communicate with, and so wondering if you could use your abyssal and try to communicate with it. Well, all right. What do I get in return? You can. I'll
My
let you stay
response-
summoned out for a while.
Out of character would have been you won't get a swift kick in the ass. That's your reward.
Okay. Oh. Wait, all right. I will do it. Hey, Wolfie guy.
It immediately starts growling.
Well, it heard me. Well, you tried, but it didn't want to respond to you, so I guess we'll just keep watch and you keep an eye on it. Will then cast invisibility on himself.
Back to the invisible talking creature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you could keep an eye on that one. It's my watch right now, so. Then probably have to roll my perception, right?
Yep, perception away. With a 7, you are so very distracted with the fact that this wolf is just sitting there, unmoving, ears folded back. But it seems to be just there in the same spot for as long as you're awake, it seems to not really move.
And then who am I supposed to wake up? I'm talking to myself. I don't know.
It'd be
Who
me.
was next
I mean,
in
well,
line?
I think you're the final one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I would know based on what time it is, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
because the sun, there'd be some light starting to pierce the darkness. The usual morning fog is starting to roll in.
Is the wolf still staring at me?
Yes, it is.
I wonder.
I will walk up to you. So I tried to communicate it with my familiars, but none of them really had any success. But the infernal and abyssal, it did not like.
Infernal
Oh.
and abyssal, you say?
Leading me to believe it could be something more heavenly in origin.
I think I understand why it's been staring at me this whole time. I'll yawn and stretch. Well, at least I got some sleep tonight. So I'll get up and I'll walk over to it.
And now,
And I will
and now
yeah.
Kaido wakes up. Look at us coming right at you.
Listen,
Yeah,
no one's woken him up yet.
I should probably tell Vivac, be like, hey, if keep an eye on Kaido. I don't want him to get startled if he sees this wolf at our camp. Tell him everything's fine. So I'll walk kind of up to where I was last night with the wolf,
Oh,
and I'll talk
nuts.
to him in Celestial. And I'll bow again. Be like, hello, forest spirit. Can you hear me now? Or is this better?
It tilts its head.
Ah, okay, well, this makes more sense. Uh, thank you for letting us rest in your forest. Is there something that we can help you with?
It stands up and turns around.
I'll turn to Mac, be like, I think we figured it out. Celestial seemed to work. And it hasn't harmed us so far, so I'm gonna go see what it needs.
And then it sits back down while
Um,
facing the other direction.
Okay. I think it wants us to go that way. Will you wake the rest of everybody and I'll be right back, maybe? I'll
Okay.
turn back to the wolf. Be like, okay, after you.
I
And
will
Is it just
start to wake everybody while she's doing that. So
Oh, morning already.
so you basically like walk up next to it.
Yeah.
And do you resist the urge to head pat? That's the real question.
Yes, I'm going to ball my hands by my sides.
You know
I
what?
really want to head pat it.
It could be funny. Give me a wisdom save. Let's see how well you can resist the head pat.
Oh no. So I'll reach out, but since I have like kind of like a hunting background and I am, celestial and know at least a little bit of something about some spirits, as I'm reaching out, I'll be like, uh, forest spirit, can I please pet your soft head? You look so soft. As I continue to kind of like reach out, like my hand has a mind of its own.
Yep, kind of. You're just like the camera's like focused on like your hand, like it starts out like in the background, like blurred, and it's like focusing in at this wolf, just like looking away, maybe a little shaky.
Well, I'm trying to resist the immediate urge of petting this fluffy forest puppy.
And the result of attempting to pet this fluffy forest puppy will be something
I mean,
that is resolved next time.
I would like to note that I did at least ask before touching it. I don't know how much longer I can hold out from the touching of the fluffy puppy head, but just so that that's noted. But excellent. What a good place to stop.
We never saw Otani again.
Worth it. Oh, what happened to your last character? Oh, she died while trying to pet a transformed spirit that took the form of a wolf. It was just so fluffy. Hey, at least I'm going for head pats and not belly rubs right off the bat. I mean, that seems like a surefire way to get my arm bitten off that way.
The worst part is if it presents the belly to you because you know it's trying to murder you. Any cat
I mean,
owner would know
maybe.
this.
That's cats, not wolves.
No, not necessarily, because both of our cats love belly rubs, and it's not a murder trick. Like, our one cat climbs up into your laps, well, my lap especially to get belly rubs. Like, he demands them. And then our other cat will flop down in the middle of the walkway and just stretch out because he wants you to rub his belly. Getting his belly brushed is one of his absolute favorite things. So, but both our cats know that we have a lot of consent with them, so they if they're tired of, getting pets and want to get up, we stop. So they know that they're safe. So there's no need for them to bring out the murder mittens.
All the murder mittens.
Yeah. Although I did get caught by one of them's murder mitten the other day.
no.
Because well, it was my error in judgment. The
All right. Well, as they're telling cat stories, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for hanging out. It has been entertaining. It has been a blast. However, it is also time to wrap it up. So tomorrow, 5, 7. Okay, yeah. So tomorrow, we will be back at it. Back to the, well, it's not going to be a normal one tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a late stream because I got something to do. So we'll be firing up a bit later than usual tomorrow, but scheduling things happen. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Probably like 2.5 hours later than usual tomorrow. But it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Announcement wise, yeah, so thank you guys for being here. Like I said, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate all yous. For those of you on the Yubles Tubles, I usually try and get these VODs up every Monday at the latest. And we do this over on Twitch TV/Q'd222. We usually try and get this particular game start up at 5:30 Pacific, give or take 10, 15 minutes for people to get in and get ready. So with that, I hope you all, at the time of you watching this, are having a wonderful morning, evening, or whatever it is in between for you. And yeah, appreciate you being here and watching. And hopefully y'all's have just as much fun as we do. But with that, let's send you off to somebody also doing some D&D. Cool. So yeah, we'll be back at it tomorrow, a little bit later than usual, but that's okay. Like I said, and then Friday, I think I have to shift what I was planning to do on Thursday to Friday, and I try to remember what it was I'd locked in. What was it? Let me check the schedule. It might have been more Elder Scrolls, getting back into that, I think. We'll see. But like I said, I'll be back tomorrow anyway. So yeah, have yourselves a good evening, and catch y'all's next time. Peace.